Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. It is my birthday. Hello. How's everyone doing today? Oh, we've got the wrong fixtures on screen. I just realised that. You guys can excuse the wrong fixtures on screen for today. I forgot to do that. It is my birthday. It's been a busy day. How are you guys doing? I'm doing well. Today, we are doing the same thing we do every year on the 28th of December, and that is celebrate my birthday. Just kidding. We try and raise some money for charity, for mental health charities every year, and that's exactly what we're gonna do again today. So if you have any FPL related questions, instead of using the usual super chats, if you wouldn't mind using the link that is in the description of this stream/video or the pinned comment in the chat, check out that link and get going with your donations. And you can put an FPL related message in there, which we'll read out. If you've got anything you'd like to say, if you just want to wish me happy birthday, instead of buying me a pint for my birthday, I suppose, I'd donate to charity instead. I would massively appreciate that. So try not to use the super chat function. If you do, all of super chat donations will also go to the same cause. I'll add that on at the end. But yeah, if you can, please do use that link. We've managed to raise hundreds of pounds every year doing this, so it's a really, really good thing. It's a really good cause. This year, same as always, we will be raising money for a mental health charity. That's not the right page. This is my famous birthdays page, which I discovered today. I'm officially on the famous birthdays website, and it says it's today is my birthday. The age is not correct though. The website doesn't know how old I am, but it knows it's my birthday. And the information is a bit sketchy, but hey, I'm on the famous birthdays website, so small wins for me. This is what we're looking for. This is the charity page that I was mentioning, which is linked everywhere. And yeah, I've started us off with an £100 donation. Any more would be, massively appreciate. Let's see what we can do, guys. Let's see what we can do. But yes, mental health charity Mind, which is a mental health charity in the UK. Something very, very important to me, very, very close to my heart. I know you guys probably didn't sign up to an FPL related YouTube channel for mental health chat, but yeah, please do indulge me for just a few minutes, because mental health is something that I have struggled with in the past and in the present as well. And I'm going to be totally real with you guys right now. This has probably been the toughest year for me mentally in a long time, certainly since I started this YouTube channel. And I just want to be open with you guys. So anyone who is suffering, if we can influence, help, encourage just one person out there, like, that would be good enough for me. It really, really would. So yeah, this year's been a little bit tougher for me, and there's not always reasons for a deterioration in your mental health. Some people struggle throughout their lives. Some people, it comes in waves. For me, in more recent years, it has come in waves. I'm not going to go into the details too much of why, but I did want to share with you some of the things that have helped me, and just to let you guys know that if you are struggling right now, you really are not alone. A lot of the people who you might not even know are, maybe having a rougher time of it, maybe are behind the scenes, behind the smiley, positive, upbeat videos, and maybe some smiley, positive, upbeat people in your real life. Some people are struggling, and you might not necessarily know that. So, this sounds crazy to say, but as a professional struggler of mental health, I have picked up a few tricks and tips over the years that have really, really helped me. And I wanted to share that with you guys, if that's okay. And, maybe it helps just one person. That would be good enough for me. So when I was struggling the most, and that was probably towards the beginning of this FPL season, and for the first time since making this channel, it impacted my ability to make videos. I did have a little bit of a mental breakdown, a mental crisis, and I was unable to even make videos for a few days. And I was really upset, actually, that it did impact my YouTube and my videos, and something that I love doing so much. However, I think by making a few tweaks, recognizing certain problems, I was definitely overworking myself a little bit too much, trying to do too much with the podcast as well, and all of the videos. It was a lot. So try to change some things. I dropped one video a week. I know that's not great for the YouTube channel, but you know, to take the pressure off yourself, if you can afford to drop your workload just a little bit, and just give yourself credit. Like, just say, look, I'm fine. I'm doing a good job. I don't need to completely push myself all the time. Just give yourself a little bit of a break. That's kind of what I tried to do there. I tried to make sure my videos and my processes were more efficient. So I'm not spending 12 hours per video. I can cut that down to 8 or 6 hours per video, which I've now managed to do by just spending time focusing on the process and really making things work more smoothly, to give myself some more time again to chill out, decompress, rather than having work on my mind non-stop. Because I have, you know, certainly in the last couple of years, have sometimes had unhealthy relationships with my work, making the YouTube videos and doing too much and putting too much pressure on myself. So definitely taking a step back there really helped me and allowed me to spend more time and focus on what I enjoy. Sit back. Okay, I'm stressed right now. I'm not dealing with things too well. What do I love? What do I appreciate in life? Well, I love video games. I really love playing video games. So I thought, if I can fine tune my processes, free up some time, and rather than, you know, working until God knows what time at night, just having that time to decompress, do something you love, and finding some joy in the world. What brings you joy? Try and do more of that if it's possible. And another thing is that I don't know if this is a YouTube specific thing. I'm sure you guys experience this in other ways, but I often find myself comparing myself to other people a lot. And I think that was very unhealthy for me as well. So again, how can I address that? Work out what the problems might be. Try and address those things. And this season, pretty much stopped consuming FPL content. There's still a few podcasts I still listen to, but instead of comparing myself to other people, just taking that step back and focusing on myself and my own work and my own joy and what brings me fulfillment within myself, rather than fulfillment in comparison to others. And I think that's been really beneficial for me. So I have no idea how other, you know, content creators that you guys might watch, I don't know how their channels are going. I don't know particularly how well they're doing in FPL unless I see a tweet or something like that. And then I can just focus on myself, make the best content I can make, do the best job I can do, and really weigh my accomplishments against my own goals rather than other people's. And some of you guys might be feeling the same way. Maybe you have certain goals and you're comparing them to what goals your family might set you, or the expectations to, I don't know, your siblings or your friends or your parents or whatever. And just focusing more on yourself, I think, is really useful, and it's certainly something that's helped me. And the final thing is that I've stopped using social media so much. Yeah, it sounds simple, but it really is super helpful. So use less time on social media, I think, is a good thing, because that's another place where you often find yourself comparing yourself against the accomplishments of others, seeing a lot of people, you know, really showing all of positive things in their own lives, but not really sharing the negatives. And it gives you an unbalanced view of what the world is like right now. You know, I'm guilty of it myself. I don't post on social media when I'm struggling mentally, but I am very often, very often. And you know, we get a warped view from social media of what the human experience is like, an unrealistic expectation of what the human experience is like. And I just want to reassure you guys that you're not alone. Life can sometimes be really tough, but there is always a light at the end of that tunnel. Believe me, I've been there, man. I've been in some very low places, and I'm sure a lot of you guys will be able to relate to that. And I'm sure a lot of other people will be able to tell you that you're not suffering alone. Things will get better, and you know, just focus on yourself and what makes you feel good. I know that sounds a little cheesy, but just wanted to put that one out there. So, guys, thank you for, like I say, indulging me for a few minutes before we start talking about FPL. But it's something that I think is really important, that we are more open, more kind to one another. You know, particularly as men. If anyone out there who is a man, you might know that being kind to one another. It's maybe not so cool. You know, you got to be a bit tough, but you know, you can show love to one another in different ways, whether that is through you know, sometimes banter and jokes and stuff like that is still you know, it's a sign of love. You know, asking your friend if they want to meet up, or just a little text to say how you're doing, or receiving a text to say how you're doing. It means a lot to people. So yeah, be kind to one another. Kindness comes in many forms. It doesn't have to be all wishy-washy stuff, but yeah, if you know, just one or two people can do a bit more than that, then that would be awesome. But we've got loads of messages in the chat, so let's just rumble through a few of them. And I think, by the looks of things, a few people have started donating using the link. So I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys have had to say in there. Lots of happy birthday wishes. Thank you so much, guys. Really, really appreciate that. People asking what video games I'm playing at the moment. I'm playing a lot of Call of Duty at the moment. Really, really enjoying that one. Honestly, Call of Duty brings me joy. I can't even lie. When I sit down, get the AK-47 out and pop some noobs, you know, it's a good feeling, right? No matter what the map, as long as it's not red card. That's a bad map. No more of that. There we go. So we've got a couple of super chats in here. Like I said, I would prefer you guys to use the link to put in super chats rather than the usual system today, but all of this will get donated anyway. But let's have a look here. So here for FPL has put, I have an issue with my card and just giving. Oh, that's no problem, man. That's no problem. These things happen. Please add the funds you get from this super chat. Happy birthday, Dan. You're awesome for doing this. Here for FPL. You're a legend, man. Thank you so much for that. That will go straight to Mind Mental Health Charity. Oil AU also says happy 40th, Dan. Hope you have a great one, man. Not quite 40, mate. We'll get there one day, but I hope we get there one day. But yeah, thank you for the birthday wishes regardless. But 40 years old, come on, man. Let's be real. Let's be real. And let's refresh this page, and then wow, there you go, guys. I set a target of £500 today. We're already at 52%, 15 minutes into the stream. You guys are killing it. Thank you so much. Let's read some of these out. We'll see. There might be some FPL related stuff in here as well. Let's see what we got. And remember to use gift aid if you're in the UK. So Borlak says, happy birthday, Dan. Thank you so much, Borlak. Dan Cross, his annual generosity of Dan Cross with £50 here. Happy birthday, Dan. Sure, it will be part of the stream, but love some keeper chat as a Fleck and Fabianski owner. We got you covered, my friend. We got you covered. I'll just get through these chats and then we'll get to that. But yeah, Dan Cross, Borlak, you guys are super generous. Thank you so much. Also got Eli, BitBoy on YouTube. Well done, Dan. Great work on YouTube and happy birthday. So, sorry, it's only a small. Don't have much at the moment. That's no problem at all, my friend. That, you know, everything counts. Everything counts, and you know, we really appreciate you regardless. You're an absolute legend for supporting the cause. Jordan here says, you're a fantastic ambassador for mental health and it makes me feel immensely proud. I admire your bravery to put yourself out there in the way you do. Awesome job. Is that my brother, Jordan? That could be my brother, Jordan, but £50 there. What an absolute legend from Jordan. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate that. And if it is brother Jordan, if you are watching, I will see you a little bit later on this evening. Bookworm Gem, happy birthday, Dan. Here's a little something to help you reach your target. £30 there. Legend, absolutely legend, Bookworm Gem. And we've got John DeMello, Chelsea FPL, says we're all behind you. Thank you so much, man. Like, that's really, really generous, every one of you. Absolute legends, absolute legends. Let's circle back to this, but guys, make sure you put your donations in using the link. If you want to ask an FPL related question using a link, that is totally cool with me. We will make sure we answer everything and read everything that you guys put in the on the Just Giving page. Cool. Right, let's talk goalkeepers. Because we obviously have this this situation, and we're going to do a wildcard draft in this stream as well, by the way, guys, because this is the final week to use your wildcard. But let's go goalkeepers, transfers out. Top two. What are their names? Fabianski. Pretty bad looking head injury, but the good news is that Fabianski, he was, he was stretched off, but he was able to to be treated in the dressing room, no hospital required, and was actually able to sit in the dugout to watch the second half of the game. So, good news with Fabianski, as in it's probably not going to be a long-term injury unless anything flags up. But I think you can feel pretty positive about that one. And honestly, guys, were you going to play him against Liverpool anyway? He could even be back for Liverpool, but were you going to play him in that fixture? Possibly not, right? So if he is back for maybe Man City or Fulham, Crystal Palace, he's still going to be fine. And I don't think we should be making Fabianski-related transfers. I think he is good to go when you next need him, which will be reasonably soon. Flecken, on the other hand, yeah, could be a bit more significant. And I don't know if we actually have... Do we have Brentford press conference yet? Let's check it out on Twitter. I'm not sure if we have had... the Brentford. If anyone knows in the chat, by the way, please feel free to let me know. See if we've got any press conference notes from him. We know it's a muscular injury, maybe a bit early, but it is a quad/groin/hip flexor injury on first examination, and depending on the grade, we could be less than a week. Could be back straight away. Or it could be a little longer. So, yeah, it's going to depend on some scans. We will have to find out more information about Flecken. But if I'm totally honest with you guys, this could be an opportunity to sell Flecken, actually, because particularly if you've got a Flecken and Fabianski combo, Arsenal, even if he is back for that, it's not great. We've got City, Liverpool, Palace, Spurs. A lot of these teams will score against Brentford. A lot of teams score against Brentford in general anyway. So I think this is an opportunity to go for a new goalkeeper. So let's look at some of the best defences in the Premier League right now. So this is last 10 game weeks, ordered by expected goals conceded. You guys see that all right? Should we zoom in a little more? There we go. That looks pretty good, like that. Hopefully you guys can see this table. Fantasy Football Hub app, as always. So last 10 game weeks, expected goals conceded per game. Or we can check out some of the better defences here. Now, Newcastle have been doing well. You could go Dubravka. It will be a very short-term punt, however, because Pope is expected back in the new year. We've got Nottingham Forest, who have some mixed fixtures. Obviously, Sells like the top scoring goalkeeper this season. Now, Pickford has overtaken him now. But Sells has got Everton, Wolves in the next two. We have Southampton here as well. But in general, as we realised against Spurs and against Brentford, this is a team that can keep clean sheets even against the tougher opponents. So if you've got 4.8 million to spend, I think you could definitely go the direction of Matt Sells for a new goalkeeper. The other players I would maybe look at is Pickford, just because of his... just because of Everton's immense ability to just keep clean sheets whenever. The fixtures aren't necessarily great for them, but again, they're another team that are capable of keeping clean sheets against anyone. We've seen Arsenal, we've seen Chelsea fail to score against them. That could continue. So Pickford and Sells, I think, would be my top picks for a goalkeeper at this point. But there's one other name I want to mention, and that is Alisson Becker. Now, we're looking at a potential double game week in 25 for Liverpool. That is going to depend on League Cup results. But a double game week of Wolves at home and Everton away, that's what it would be for Liverpool. And that's two clean sheet opportunities, two huge clean sheet opportunities. By that point, we're going to have Konate back for Liverpool as well. So if you're looking to add a little bit more Liverpool to your team in anticipation for a future double game week, and the fixtures between now and then, pretty decent as well, then this is definitely a direction you could go in. Get that nailed on Liverpool defensive asset for just 5.4 million. That is definitely a valid goalkeeper replacement right now. So yeah, that's going to kind of depend on what direction you want to take your team. Obviously, you're going to want Salah. Do you want to have Trent? Do you want to have Van Dijk? Do you want to have like a Diaz or a Jota or someone like that? But if you think there might be room for an Alisson Becker, then he's definitely going to be an option there. Someone in the chat mentions Henderson. I think for a lot of people, you're going to have a lot of free money, so you're not going to need to scrimp too much on Dean Henderson, but he is definitely a valid pick as well. We've seen that Crystal Palace's defensive numbers have improved, but they're still only sitting around mid-table. So if you can go for Forest, Everton, Liverpool, I think I would prefer to go for that direction personally. But Henderson, if you really are struggling for cash, then it is definitely doable. It's definitely doable. Right, should we fire up the wildcard draft? I think we should. Right, let's go to the My Team tool and start building our wildcard draft for this week. There we go. And quickly on Cunha as well. A few questions around Cunha today. The latest reports is that he's still not going to get his ban. Still no ban for Gameweek 19, which is crazy. I don't know if Cunha owners have some kind of deal with the devil right now, I'm telling you, because he keeps scoring from crazy situations. He scored a corner last game week. I mean, wow. We keep saying, well, I certainly said earlier in the season, these Cunha returns are not sustainable. And yet they are. What do I know? What do I know? But whilst he's not banned, you should absolutely keep him in your FPL team. He plays Spurs next. And my word, guys, have you seen the Spurs injury crisis at the back? Let me show you right now. I don't know what to go by. Let's just look at some of these players who are out, particularly in the defensive areas. So Romero is out. Van der Ven is out. Spence is suspended. Where's Davis? Davis is injured. Dragusin picked up an ankle injury. Like, who? What is Spurs' defense even gonna be? What is it even gonna look like, man? I don't even know at this point. It's gonna be Archie Gray, Pedro Porro, and the rest. Region left back. Who else is gonna play at centre back? I genuinely don't know. Is my camera frozen? Oh, it's gonna do the thumb up. That's all right. We'll resort to the backup camera. This happens way too often, man. I need to figure it out. There we go. I'm a different colour now. But it is still me. I can assure you it is still me. Just look a bit more tanned. I've got a little summer glow in these winter months. All right. Well, anyway, the lighting's off, but hopefully you get the idea. It's still me. Super chat from Farzid says, bought KDB for a punt for Saka. I'm an idiot. Happy birthday. You're not an idiot, man. It was a bit of a punt, though. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. Right. Before we start doing this wildcard draft, let's coach this down. Any more donations? Yes. We've got a few more, guys. We've got a few more. Keep them coming in. Paul Roberts, £20, says, happy birthday, Dan. Thank you very much, Paul. Jack Stevens says, happy birthday, Dan. The buy, sell, keep, avoid videos are helping me storm my mini league at work. I plan to have bragging rights in 2025. Take care, mate. And Jack, you will, my friend. We will make sure of it. The buy, sell, keep, avoid videos are not going anywhere. And FPL Silver Fox says, happy birthday, Dan. Fantastic content. Thank you so much, Silver Fox. That is massively appreciated. And we are 61% through our target of £500. Getting there, guys. Getting there. Keep them coming in. And let's go to this wildcard draft. So let's start off simple. Palmer, Salah, Isak. There's no way you create a wildcard team that doesn't involve these three players. I would also say that having Trent and Gabriel are two players I would probably go for as, you know, some of the first players in. After that is where things get a bit more interesting. Now, you could go for another Liverpool player now, or you could do the kind of wait and see for the next few game weeks up until 25 to figure out which Liverpool asset you do want to go for your third guy for the double game week, assuming there is a double game week, because it's not 100%. So let's park that one for now and go through some of the other players I really like. And one of them is Daniel Munoz. We've spoken about him a little bit on this channel already. And basically, he is just an attacking machine. If we go through defenders, order them by, well, let's just go XG. Throughout the season, you can see that Daniel Munoz, way out on top here. Well, not way out on top, but like, you know, he's beating Gvardiol, Milenkovic, Gabriel, a lot of these other Collins, Nori, Saliba. a lot of these other defenders who you've seen getting goals, Munoz has got better XG numbers than all of them. And you know what? He's got better expected assist numbers than a lot of them as well, aside from Gavardio. So we know Gavardio was the best attacking defender in the league. But Munoz is certainly around there as well. He certainly is. So really, really impressive stats here. Like 18 shots for a defender, 17 in the box. And you know what? Most of that is semi-recently as well. So we've seen a lot of that form really over the last 10 game weeks. And as a result, he sits at the top of the table again for XG during this time by a little bit further. So he's doing really well. Love this for a pick. And the fixtures are really nice for Crystal Palace as well. Let's have a look. So we'll use Mateta, but yeah, you get the idea. Southampton at home, even Chelsea at home. Chelsea have not been a super strong defence. They can be scored against, and Munoz is a goal-scoring defender. He plays so advanced. He's basically an inside right forward. Chelsea you can play him in that fixture. Then you've got Leicester, West Ham, Brentford, Man United, Everton, good for a clean sheet at least. Fulham, Aston Villa, Ipswich, Newcastle, Southampton, Brighton. There is not a single game week here where I would be uncomfortable playing Daniel Munoz. Not a single game week. Like maybe Newcastle away and Chelsea at home, you might think, might bench him for that one. But he's totally playable. Munoz is totally playable for that run. So as a result, he absolutely makes this team. So let's keep it moving. I think other defenders, I think we can maybe go a little cheaper as backups / I don't know, players that you maybe occasionally play when you want a back four or just as backup or occasional rotation. Castagna for 4.2 million is great value for money with Tete out. Fulham top defence, really strong defence. I think they're 6th in the table for expected goals conceded over the last 10 game weeks, which is really nice. And the other player I'm going to put in here is actually going to be Milenkovic or Mikalenko. And that depends on who the goalkeeper is. Really depends on who the goalkeeper is. I think for the attacking potential, I'm going to go Milenkovic. And for the save potential, I'm going to go for good old Pickers. And I still think Fabian... I know Valdemarson could play for a few weeks, but I still think Fabianski is the backup goalkeeper to go for. And that leaves us 30 mil to spend on 5 attacking slots. Duncan says get both Sells and Pickford. I don't know about that one. James Bailey says, I'd love to know what you think of Onuachu as an FPL asset. I don't think there's really any need to go there. There's plenty of other great cheap options who are doing so well at the moment. That from an FPL perspective, I don't think there's a real need to go there. I think we could do a little bit better. But it's an interesting thought experiment, I suppose. But anyway, we've got to continue with this team. I want to throw in at least one cheap midfielder. And the one guy I would go for is Ismail Assar. You guys know I've been fanboying him recently. He's looking really good. Had a disallowed goal, of course, in game week 18 due to an offside. So, yeah, fine margins. Fine margins of FPL and for football. And outside of that, I'm kind of like a little indifferent. So... you could go Ødegaard, maybe. I mean, I think we'll go Jackson still as a forward. I know he has blanked twice in a row, but his numbers are still among the best. So we'll go Jackson. Do you go Cunha and just hope he never gets banned? I guess it's technically possible. Standard says Sells better than Pickford. I mean, it's up to you. Like, if you're on a wild card, you either go Pickford and Mikalenko or... Pickford and Milenkovic or Sells and Mikalenko. So you have cover on both ends. But I think in general, if I had the choice of any goalkeeper, I think I would go Pickford over Sells. Everton are just like crazy in defence, aren't they? Really crazy. So let's circle back with some more midfielders. With 16 million to spend, we're gonna have to have at least one cheap guy in here. I wonder if Ødegaard is worth going for, because the latest news on Saka is that he could be out for like 3 months. He could be out. He could be out until like nearly the end of the season. He's having surgery. It's going to be a long time. So that's Ødegaard, Arsenal, penalty taker, set piece taker. Let's throw him in. And by the way, guys, this budget assumes you have 100 million budget. I know a lot of you guys have a lot more than that right now. I would imagine 90% of you guys. Did the page just refresh? That's annoying. I was taking too long. That's all right. I can repopulate. Yeah, I imagine most of you guys are, maybe 90% of you guys are at 102 million team value. Maybe even more than that. You will have to let me know in the chat what your team values are, if you know them, of course. If you know them. No problem if you don't. Fabianski, wherefore art thou? Oh, there we go. And then we needed Isak, Jackson, and I think a cheap midfielder. Who's your cheap midfielder of choice right now? Should we have a look at some numbers? Let's go midfielders. I mean, my mind goes to like Ahmad or Enzo or Rodgers as like a top 3. But let's see if there's anyone else who I met. Oh, Murphy. Add a bit of spice to this bad boy. Add a little bit of spice with Murphy. I mean, there's a good chance he falls out of the team at some point, but hopefully there should be enough cover in this team to make it worthwhile. So yeah, I guess at this point is kind of up to you. Do you want to go Ahmad, Enzo, Rodgers, or a little bit different on Murphy? I'm going to go for Murphy because I like to have a bit of spice in my wildcard drafts. I don't want to make him too boring, which leaves us with not very much money for that final forward. Who do we even go for at this point? Just stick with João Pedro? Should we have left a bit more budget? Should we move things around a little bit? We could downgrade Ødegaard potentially. Because the problem is though, I don't really know where to go. Should we go Wood? And then that's a great team if your team value is 104 million. But if it's not, then you might be in a bit of trouble. Let's downgrade Ødegaard just to make this team a little bit cheaper. And we can go for... We could potentially go for Gordon, and then instead of Murphy, we can go for Ahmad. Now we've got a decent balance there in the team. Probably going to bench Ahmad for a couple of weeks. I don't know if that works well for rotations, actually, so I'm going to go Rodgers. Okay. Let's have a look at what this team looks like now that it is made. Pretty happy with that. I think I would bench Wood against Everton away. But man, that's a strong team. That's a strong team. Okay, so there you go. That is a wildcard draft. It's not, you know, there is always going to be a couple of spots in there that are up for debate. Like some people will want to just take Cunha and just hope he doesn't get banned too soon and just take the points whilst you have them. Some people will prefer the different cheap guys. I know some people will probably want more Arsenal in here as well. Havertz's numbers are looking pretty good at the moment, but he is playing in midfield, which is a little concerning for me. But actually Havertz's numbers pretty good recently. The other options are, you know, try and get an Ødegaard in there. For Amy says get a City attacker in there. Some people will like the City fixtures and want a City attacker. I'm just not convinced by their form, to be honest. And of course, you know, they're always going to have an option for that third Liverpool player, and that's going to be at your own discretion, really. But I think as a starting point, this works pretty nicely. Pretty nicely for a team. And I think this team should be affordable for most people. Most people. Another way to reduce the money is like you can downgrade Fabianski to Valdemarson. You can probably afford to remove Milenkovic as well and just downgrade him all the way to a 3.9. That'll free up a lot of budget that way, and that might allow you to get more of the players you want. But look, rough wildcard, this team is pretty sick, and probably, hopefully for you, quite similar to what a lot of you guys have got already. Who's the captain? Well, Salah. It's got to be Salah, really. It's got to be Salah. There we go. Wildcard draft complete. Let's check out, see if we've got any more donos. Is that one more? Two more? Two more. Brilliant stuff. Okay, we're really getting there now. 72%. We've got 22 minutes left of the stream. Can we reach 100% before the end of the stream? Of course, I do have to add in the super chats as well. So hopefully that will help us get across the line. Yeah, if we can, if anyone else can afford to donate just a little something using the link in the description or in the pinned chat comment, please do. And we'll be reading everything out, whatever you want to say, whatever you want to ask. But there we go. So, Lars, £50. Oh my word, Lars. This is Norwegian, isn't it? Gratulere med dagen dan. How did I do? You're causing me you're causing me pain trying to speak Norwegian. I can't speak Norge. It's not happening. Gratulere med dagen dan. I don't know what that means. Does it mean happy birthday? Should we do a Google Translate? Many happy returns or happy birthday. Wow. Good to know. Thank you very much, Lars. Thank you for fantastic FPL content. You saved me a lot of work to manage my FPL team. Very glad to hear it. I have Sar, Ahmad, Rogers, and Evan Nilsson, who to upgrade, and you'll never walk alone right there at the end there. Who to upgrade? I think Sar is great. Rogers is great. Ahmad starting to lose a bit of faith in Manchester United in general, but that is no slight on Ahmad, who I think is a brilliant football player. So that brings me to Evan Nilsson, who was benched last game week. If you got a little money in the bank, I think I would be looking to upgrade Evan Nilsson, and there's a couple of forwards you could potentially go for. Got no points predictions among forwards. I think Watkins is definitely a player I'd be looking at. If you don't have Isak, just get Isak. I think that is a great general tip. Buy Isak if you haven't got him already, pretty much at any cost. But yeah, Isak, Watkins, maybe a little shorter term for a punt. Wood, not a great game week 19, but could do well after that. Got some better fixtures coming up, but also some rougher fixtures. The more I speak, the more I go off Wood. Mateta is there as well. Great fixtures, but hasn't really been performing, so it is a bit speculative. Some people like Havertz. I get it. I think I prefer Jackson out of the two. Solanke is there as well. He's about to play Wolves, but there are tough fixtures after that, and Solanke has been a disappointing FPL asset in general. So Isak is your number one replacement for Evan Nilsson if you can afford to do so. After that, you can go for a slightly speculative Mateta or Havertz. Jackson is a slightly safer option, or Watkins if you really want to punt out there. So those are some suggestions for you. I think one thing is with the forwards is that there's no real standout options. I do have forward stats somewhere. Here they are. So I was looking through forwards last 6 game weeks, expected goal involvements. Isak's way out on top. Havertz is second with 3.5 expected goal involvements here. Gakpo is there, but I do think there is going to be some rotation risk with him, even though some people are keen. Vardy's injured. Haaland, very, very expensive. Not sure he's good value for money. Watkins hasn't been playing, but with Duran suspended for 2 game weeks. It is 2 game weeks, right? Because one of his suspension weeks is an FA Cup game, I think. So is it FA Cup or League Cup? Something like that. And yeah, Watkins is at least guaranteed for the next 2 game weeks, which are brilliant fixtures against Brighton and Leicester, both at home. So I really do like Watkins. But then again, we're back to Jackson here, who, you know, a lot of people already have. Even Solanke and Mateta and Evan Nilsson, who you might have, are already there. So, yeah, Isak's way out in front of everyone else. The rest is a bit of a jumble. You kind of just got to pick your poison and hope for the best. And we don't really know what's going to happen from there. So there we are. Right, let's answer a few chat questions. Matthias says, happy birthday, mate. Appreciate you skipping the cake, presents and celebrations to come on the air and meet me and my FPL siblings. Cheers and congratulations from FPL Godfather. Thank you very much, Matthias. It's my pleasure. You know, we do this every year. There's no problem with that. Matthew says, why didn't you talk about City home? City at home. Who's playing City at home? Brentford are playing them at home in 21. I mean, if you want to talk about City players, the performances just haven't been there. They haven't been there at all. Storm says, shouldn't there be more interest in Ashley Young? Good stats, good defence. Yep, definitely a consideration. The next fixture is an opportunity. If this is a good jumping on point, if you are looking to get some Everton defence in your life, this is a good time to do it. Forest and Bournemouth, the next two. Forest, I think, whilst they are a good team, they do struggle a little bit in front of goal to generate chances. And Bournemouth are kind of the opposite. They generate a lot of chances, but they don't have clinical forwards to finish off those chances. So Bournemouth and Forest are both clean sheet opportunities for different reasons. Of course, Everton have always a chance for clean sheet, aren't they? So yes, definitely could go for an Ashley Young right now. A little bit of attacking threat for him as well, which puts him in contrast to the slightly cheaper Mykolenko, who is, how much is Mykolenko? It's 4.3 million. So if you wanted to go cheap, you do still get a little attacking threat from Mykolenko, but nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. What else have we got? Mark says, bought in Mateta last game week. Love him as a differential. Good, interesting pick. Jackie's Chan says, is there any tangible strategies for the free hit chip, Dan? I've never really known. Yeah, so this season in particular, depending on League Cup results, and, you know, chip strategies is often based around where the double game weeks are, where the blank game weeks are, and that is defined largely by the other cup competitions and the results of them and the fixtures moving around, the Premier League fixtures moving around as a result of the cup results. So as such, before the cups really get to their latter stages, we don't really know in the first half of the season when the best times to use the chips will be. We might have some rough ideas, but as more information has come along, we have discovered that there's a very good chance that the League Cup final will be between Liverpool and Arsenal. And that takes place, I believe, in, is it Gameweek 29? So, it would take place on this weekend of Gameweek 29, which means Arsenal would be unavailable to play in Gameweek 29 and Liverpool would be unavailable to play in Gameweek 29. This is just hypothetical at this point, by the way, guys. If that were the case, then Arsenal versus Chelsea and Aston Villa versus Liverpool would be postponed. The fixtures would not take place in Game Week 29. So, if you have a lot of Arsenal, Chelsea, Aston Villa and Liverpool players in your FPL teams, and you probably do, and you probably will, then you might find yourself a little bit short on players in Game Week 29, but you'll want to own those players in Game Week 28 and in Game Week 30. You want to have these players around. You want to have these players in your team, but they won't be available for Game Week 29 in this hypothetical scenario. As a result, it might be a huge opportunity for the free hit. It means you get to keep all of these players from these teams before Game Week 29 and after Game Week 29, but for the individual game week of Game Week 29, you get to take advantage and still have a full squad of players and hopefully take advantage of a few interesting fixtures here. So we have got Man City versus Brighton here, for example. If you don't have too many Man City players in your team, a free hit might be an opportunity to take a 1 week punt on some of your City guys. We've got Everton clean sheet potential against West Ham. Fulham versus Spurs. Could a Fulham attacker do the business there? Forest play Ipswich, a nice fixture for Forest. Manchester United, if they manage to pick up their form by that point, they face Leicester, Newcastle Palace, and, you know, a low down the table clash between Southampton and Wolves. So there's some really interesting fixtures here that could make for a very nice free hit, even without Arsenal, Chelsea, Aston Villa and Liverpool. So, ears to the wall. We'll keep an eye on how the League Cup results progress. But I think there's a very good chance that Game Week 29 will be the optimal time for your free hit chip. So thinking ahead a little bit there, but hopefully that is helpful regardless. Right, here for FPL has got another super chat in here for me, and that says, my plan was Flecken to Raya, but with Trent, Gabriel, Munoz, Robinson and Mykolenko, would you go Pickford/Sells instead? Have the funds, but are looking to be able to upgrade Semenyo soon. Thoughts? Well, I think, honestly, particularly if it opens up more options for your Semenyo upgrade, I think I would just go Pickford instead of Raya. Arsenal's fixtures take a downward turn from here. It might be a time to punt against the Arsenal defence. And I think there's two schools of thought here, and both could go well. Stick with the Arsenal defence. They're a great defence, and they'll keep clean sheets against anyone. But you could say the same thing about Jordan Pickford. And Pickford is more likely to get you save points, more likely to get you bonus points. So actually, I think Pickford is possibly the way I would go on that one. I would take a punt against the Arsenal defence and maybe even use it as an opportunity to take an additional punt on the Arsenal attack. You know, going for Pickford, will that allow you to go for Ødegaard instead of as your Semenyo upgrade, for example? Or, you know, Martinelli, someone like that. So that is definitely a possibility. I like the idea of going for Pickford, but Raya is probably your safer option. But I think I would go for Pickford personally. There you go. Hopefully that helps out just a little bit. Right. Any more Just Giving chats? We are 81%. Guys, we've got 11 minutes left of the stream to raise £90. Can we do it in time? I'm sure, to be fair, you know, if you're watching this as a replay, the donations are still very much open. I'll still will be reading out and responding to you guys the next time we stream. So yeah, please, even if you are watching this stream after it's gone out, yeah, please do keep giving. It is massively, massively appreciated. It really is. But let's see what you guys have been saying. Come on, £90. We can do this. Right, Anonymous here says, happy birthday, great idea, and well done talking about it. People should take more time out from the socials and talk more. Definitely agreed. We should definitely talk more and do more. Like, it's definitely something that we can improve on, really, as a society. We could do better, so let's. Thank you very much, anonymous person in the chat. Dom Evans says, great work, Dan, and what courage to speak up on something so important. The blue moon will rise again. Great words there from Dom, and a very generous donation. Thank you so much, Dom, for that. Rad says, in an 8-man draft league, keep Saka or drop. No trades in my league. Currently second place. Thank you for your amazing support for the mental health community. Cheers, mate. Well, thank you very much, Rads. Really appreciate it. And I guess my advice, I do play a little bit of draft as well. More so over the last couple of years than ever before, actually. I think because Saka is going under the knife, surgery, I mean, he is potentially out for, you know, almost the rest of the season. So if you have a player in mind, if there's a player, I don't know what form of fantasy you're playing, but if there's a player on the waivers or, you know, someone you really feel like picking up in an 8-man, there's probably some real good potential sneaky midfield picks out there for you right now. If you need a new player, then I think I would drop Saka. Because realistically, even if someone else manages to pick him up later on in the season, they're not going to get very much time out of him. And you may gain more in the short term. Well, not even short term, in the next 3 months, you might gain more points from having that additional player on your roster than you would by keeping him. So I think I would drop Saka. Certain draft fantasy games allow you to keep an injured player in an additional slot. Of course, if you have that additional slot, I would use it on Saka. But yeah, Saka could only there's full potential for Saka to only play a few games between now and the end of the season. So you need to weigh up whether it's worth one of your slots in your squad, and can you find a player who you feel is worthwhile taking that punt on and dropping Saka. And you never know, it might even be you to pick him back up later on in the season. Will Borst says, happy birthday, Dan. Keep up the great content. Thank you very much, Will, for your generous donation with gift aid, of course, which is also very useful. And Paul says, great content, Dan. Been watching your videos for a few months. Really clear and easy to understand. My favourite is the expert series. Who are you giving the armband to this week? Well, Paul, I think I'm going to give the armband to Salah. Yeah, always back the Egyptian king. I think that's the way to go in FPL at the moment. I know it's a little bit boring, but yeah, I think I'm going to back think I'm going to back Salah with the amazing form he's been in this season. But I'm glad you've been enjoying the videos. It's always good to have new people on the channel for the last few months. We've been doing this for a few years now. And it's nice to see that still new people coming along and joining and hopefully enjoying the videos as well. So massively appreciated, Paul. And we've got another one from Nat here who says, happy birthday, Dan. What an amazing thing to do. Thank you for all your incredible efforts in FPL and for being such a strong advocate for mental health. Thank you so much, Nat. And it absolutely is my pleasure. Truly is. Truly is. And of course, there's lots of happy birthday messages in the chat as well. Can't read them all out, but thank you so much. Really do appreciate you guys saying that to me today. Very kind of you. Very kind of you. Right, we got any other FPL related questions? Any more donos? We've got 6 minutes left. Can we do £90 in 6 minutes? Is it possible? Can anyone save the day? I mean, the target is for like the next week, really, rather than just for this stream. But I mean, it would be cool to hit the target for this stream. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat regardless. Hungbok Lee says, I somehow still have Robertson in my team. Should I replace him with Munoz, given that I already have Trent? I would think about it. Yeah, I think I would do it. Chipway says, Son as a punt. I don't know if I would go there. I feel like that's just spending money for the sake of it. Yeah, not sure. I think that there's just other players playing better right now. So I don't think I would go there. But if you really wanted to, then I kind of understand it. Who's this? Does that say Beatrice? Beatrix T says, thank you for the awesome content. Appreciate it. No problem. Thank you very much, Beatrix, for the very generous donation. And we'll have to add all these on. We might have even hit the goal once I've added the super chats on, to be fair. I don't think... Oh, so the super chat total is £21 right now. So actually, we only need £70 more to hit the target. We can do it. We can do it. Tweet the stream out, guys. Oh, I should have said that at the beginning for you guys to tweet out the stream or retweet the stream. Yeah, I probably should have said that at the beginning. But I'll tell you what, though. If you like the stream, if you can't afford to donate today, that's absolutely fine. But just liking the stream will push it out to more people when it goes live as a video. So the more likes, the more it's pushed out. Hopefully, if it's pushed out to certain people who do have the funds to generously donate, then that's a good thing, right? So you can donate without donating by dropping a like. It could work out. Maybe. Duncan says, what do we get if we save the day? What do you want? If it's within my power, I shall grant it. I will grant it. How do I rotate Castagna, Munoz, and Van Dijk? I think you probably play Timber and Van Dijk every week and then rotate Castagna and Munoz. Is Semenyo to Sarr a good transfer this week? Love your content. Yes, I think I would do that, Noel. I would do it. Harry says, Happy New Year, FPL mate. Do you reckon Sarr in for Smith Rowe or Jackson in for Evan-Nilsson? Oh, I like them both. But I think I would go for Sarr in for Smith Rowe. I think that is the direction I would go on that one. I have Gavardio and Gabriel. Who should I start alongside them? Timber or Hall? I would start Timber ahead of Hall. I think Iwobi or Sarr in for Matoma. Definitely Sarr. Definitely Sarr. Sarr and Jesus or Gordon and Mateta? Ooh, that's tougher. That's tougher. I don't know. Oh, that's a really tough. Maybe Gordon and Mateta. Let's go Gordon and Mateta. But that honestly, that's so close. That's so tight. That really maybe that's one to just go with your gut. What do I do if Castagna and Munoz both have good games? You go for Munoz because he has better attacking threat and plays for the he plays for the weaker defense, but he has better attacking threat. So if both Castagna and Munoz both had good games, you play Munoz, I think. Or if there's a attacker that is having a bad fixture, you can maybe even play both. You can maybe even play both. Akraf says Iwobi to someone. I'm going to say Sarr. I'm going to say the answer is Sarr to everything. Mark says, if you reload, you'll see my donation. Okay, Mark, let's go. Yes, all right. Another £8 from the anonymous Mark. I'm sorry, Mark. I foiled your anonymity. But it says, well done, FPL mate. Thank you very much, Mark. £8 plus £2 gift aid. That's a good point, actually. It's going to add the gift aid as well. So actually, we might already have reached the target with gift aid. Is that how it works? Oh man, maybe. But thank you so much, Mark. Thank you so much, everyone, really. But I still have quite a few things to do today. I need to finish off a video. I'm meant to be going out in like 45 minutes, and I haven't finished editing today's video either. So I am gonna have to go, unfortunately, guys. I would have loved to stay on here for hours and hours and hours, but yeah, as you guys, anyone who out there who's ever had a birthday probably knows that they're often pretty busy days, aren't they? So yes, I am going to have to disappear as if by magic, but I'll finish off the video, upload that, so you will have some more FPL Mate content. That'll be my team selection video. That'll go up ASAP. And yeah, appreciate you guys helping out with the donos today, raising money for a good cause. If you are watching this after the fact, then please do continue to donate using the link at the top of the video. Massively appreciate you guys. What do you plan to do this month? I'm going to go out for a few beers. Well, I've got a haircut first. I've got to get a haircut in an hour's time, so that's why I've got to go in 45 minutes. As you can probably tell, very much needed. But then, yeah, going out for a few beers, which would be quite nice. See a lot of friends. Lovely stuff. There we go, guys. Thank you so much for today. Everyone who donated, you guys are absolute legends. And even, you know, guys just supporting today's stream with likes and comments and getting involved in the chat. You guys are all legends regardless. Appreciate you guys. Make sure you check out the buy, sell, keep, avoid video from yesterday if you haven't done already. Team selection video will be up very, very soon. And yes, I will see you later, mates. Thank you so much. And yeah, goodbye. Enjoy the rest of your Saturdays.